Hello students. Before we start, make sure you have a printout of these notes or you pause and you draw out these notes. Alright? Alright. Today's lesson is on angle sum, and we're going to focus on the interior angle sum and also the exterior angles, the sum of the exterior angles. Okay? First of all, what is an interior angles? Are angles that are inside. And what's the sum of the interior angles? It just means that if you add these three angles, what do they add up to? Okay? Now, I will actually take like an angle ruler or a like a protractor, and you can measure these angles, okay? And then you can add all these three angles, all right? And they will be 180 degrees. All right, so go and write that down, okay? Before we start that though, there are three sides, so we write three sides, okay? And then we do the same thing for this one. There's four sides, okay? And again, if I were to measure each angle, and then I would add them up, it actually turns into 360 degrees, okay? And then I do the same thing for a pentagon. That is, pentagon has 5 sides. You can count that. Hexagon has 6 sides. Okay, heptagon has 7 sides. All right. And anyway, I measure all the angles using an angle ruler or a protractor, and I add them up, and I will get 540 degrees. Same thing for this one. I add them up, and then what I am getting is 700 and let's see, 20 degrees. Alright, and then this one, again, I measure all the angles. There's 7 of them. There's 7 angles, and I add those angles up, and I get 900 degrees. Alright? Anyway, there should be a pattern. Okay, as you can see, obviously it's the 3 sides, 180, 4 sides, 360, 5 sides, 540 degrees. You should see a pattern there. Okay, and it looks like the pattern is going up by 180 every time you put in an extra side. All you have to do, instead of measuring all the angles, and you could actually just go, oh, I see the pattern here. You just add 180. Okay, so that'll be 1080s. Let's do that quickly. 1080. And for today, you can use a calculator, and you could just go ahead and add by 180. All right. So this one has nonagon has 9 sides, okay, and then a decagon has 10 sides. Again, you could just add 180, okay. So 1080 plus 180, that will give me 1260. And then this one here, again, just add 180, so plus another 180, and what you have is 1440. All right. Now, again, these are patterns, okay, and for the last one, we want to figure out a pattern, okay. So n-gon just means like how many sides there are, okay. So we don't know how many sides this one have, all right, but there should be a pattern here to get these answered, okay. As you can see, again, it goes up by 180, but we started out with 3 sides. So a lot of students think that you just do 3, since it's 3 sides, you multiply it by 180. No, because 3 times 180 is definitely not 180. So you don't just multiply the sides with 180, okay? So this one, you start off at 180. So this is actually 1 times 180. This is actually 2 times 180. This is actually 3 times 180. And then 4 times 180 and so forth, okay? So it's actually 2 less. One more time. This is 1 instead of 3 times 1. It's 1 times 180. And then 2 times 180. So whatever the sides are, it's just 2 less from that one. For example, like 7. If you just go 2 less than 7 is 5. 5 times 180 is 900. And then you say, oh, okay, so then why don't I just, whatever the sides are, okay, why don't I just, whatever it is, why don't I just subtract that by 2, and then when I'm done, I multiply that by 180. Let's go ahead and practice real fast and see if that is true. Okay, we'll use 9. All right, again, so let's see if that's going to give us 1260. All right, so 9 sides, you subtract that from 2 and multiply by 180. Let's go and try it real fast. So again, 9 sides, subtract that from 2 times 180. All right, let's let's do that real fast. So that's 7 sides, 7 times 180. And let's see real fast, so 7 times 180. That will give me, there you go, 1260. All right, so that is actually a formula to find the interior angle sum. All right, now let's go back to this column here. Okay, this one here, let's just say these are a regular. Okay, so let's go ahead and write down regular over here. They're not just a polygon, they're regular, meaning that all the angles we know add up to 180, but they also are the exact same angle. So all you have to do is just go, okay, since there's 3 angles and I want the exact same angle, again, these tell you that they're the exact same angle. Okay, so you just divide that by 180. Okay, so 180, I'm sorry, by 3, sorry. Divide by 3. Oh, okay, so therefore each angle is 60 degrees. So you just write 60 degrees. All right, so 60 plus 60 plus 60 is 180. This one, same thing. You divide that by 4, then you know each angle, and it happens to be 90 degrees. 5, let's go real fast. 540, divide by 5, that will give me 108 degrees. So again, if each one is 108, and then you add that up, you get 540. Okay, so one more time, let's do 720, divide that by 6, you get 120 degrees. And then 900, divide by 7. Let's round that to 228.6. I'm sorry, 128.6 degrees. And then 1080, divide that by 8, 135. 1260, divide that by 9, 140. And now divide by 10, it's just 144 degrees. All right? Oh, 144 degrees. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and skip all the way to the sum of the exterior angle. Now these are interior angle. Okay. The exterior angle is the exterior of the interior angle. Okay. So just quickly, this is the other parts of your notes. I'm going to get to that in a second, but let's just say that this one here. So we know that these are the interior angle, okay? To find the exterior angle, you just have to draw the angles of the outside of it. For example, if I'm going to draw the exterior angle, I would draw, just follow this line, and that would be the exterior angle for that one. The exterior angle for that one. The exterior angle for that one. Exterior angle for that one. Oops, my bad. No, that one curved down there for a second. And then finally, one more. Alright, so these are the exterior angle. This one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay? The exterior angle is actually a little bit easier because just think of it like running track. Okay, so let's say you start here, and then when you run, you turn this way. So that when you turn, it's that angle there. And you run and you turn this way, and then you turn in that angle, and you turn that angle, and you turn in that angle, and you turn in that angle, and then you always end up back to where you start. So think of it like running track, like a sort of like a circle, okay? So if you're running around something, okay, you always end up back to where you are. That is actually 360 degrees. So we looked at a pentagon here, okay? That was 360 degrees, but it actually holds true for everything else. Because if you just run the exterior angle of every shape, you always end up back to where you started. So the exterior angles is always going to be 360 degrees. Okay, so that one is a little bit easy because it doesn't matter what shape it is. All of the angles is 360 degrees. All right, let's go and write 360. So that's just something that you have to try to remember, 360 degrees. All right. All right. Now, to find each angle, let's go back to the pentagon here real fast. Okay, and there were 5 of them. the exterior. And if it's regular, that means that they're all the same degree. Since they're all the same degree, I can just simply just go 5 divided by 360. 360 divided by 5. That would give me 72 degrees. So for these, you could just divide, since it's regular, that means that all the angles are the same. So just divide by 3. 360. Right there. I'm going to go quick on that one. 120. Divide by 4. This is going to be the same. It's 90 degrees. This one I divide by 6. 360 divided by 6 will give me 60 degrees. This one here divided by 7, it won't give me even answer. That one divided by 7. And I would get around 51.4. Divide by 8, 360 divided by 8 gives me 45 degrees. 9 divided by 360 divided by 9, that will give me 40 degrees. And then 360 divided by 10, that's just 36 degrees. Alright. Alright. Now let's go ahead and do on the other side of our notes. So there's two-part notes here. Your notes will run around 15 minutes today. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this part here, and then we're actually done with today's lesson. Alright. Alright. So you're going to need a calculator. So make sure you have one handy. Okay. Alright, quickly, again, find the interior angle sum. Now you go, Mr. Liu, we already did that one, that's a pentagon. You're right. So you can just go back and look over here. Okay, first of all, it's 5 sides. So the interior angle sum is 540. You go, oh, I already know that one, 540. So I guess you're done. Okay, each angle, you could go back and look, or you could just divide by 5. So divide by 5 gives you 108 degrees. The exterior angle sum is always the same, 360 degrees. And then you can just divide by 5, so you don't really have to look. It's 72 degrees. All right. All right. Now let's look at this one here. This one's not in our chart because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 11. Okay. So you could go, Mr. Liu, why don't we just do to the next pattern? Just add by, if it's 11 sides. You just add 180 and then you get the answer. Sure, yeah, you could do that. Or you could just use this formula right here. Just subtract 2, whatever sides there are, and multiply 180. I'm going to go with that one instead. Okay? So again, it's just there are 11 sides. Let me put 11 sides here. Subtract that by 2. Okay, and then you multiply by 180. Alright? So 11 minus 2, which is 9, times 180. That would give me 1620. Right? I'll write it right here, guys. And 1620. Now, to find each angle, there are 11 sides. That means 11 angles. If you divide this by 11, it's not going to give me an even answer, which is 147. Let's go with 0.3. 147.3. Okay. The exterior angle does not change. It's always going to be 360. And then just divide 360 by 11. And that will give me 32.7. All right. Same thing. This one has 27 sides. So it's going to take way too long for you to look through that chart. So all you have to do is just go 27 minus 2 sides times 180. Okay, so whatever the sides are, you subtract 2 times 180. Okay, which gives you 25 times 180, and then that answer is right over here. 27, oh, my bad, clear, 25 times 180. That would give me, 4,500. Divide that by 27 to give me each angle. Divide that by 27. That would give me 166.7. 166.7 degrees. The exterior angle is always going to be that, something that you could just write down is 360 degrees. And then divide 360. 360 divided by 27 angles. And that would give me 13.3 degrees. Alright, so now that's the first part of your assignment. The second part is find a missing angle. All right. Now the missing angle, you're gonna need this chart. Okay. So this one here is 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. So go back to this chart, and these are all interior. We're not gonna do them in exterior today. Okay. For these types. So that's interior angle. All right. So you're gonna go back and you're gonna find the interior angle of something with 4 sides. Oh, 4 sides. The interior angle sum of this one is 360. Okay. So you know now that it's going to be 360 degrees, okay? 300, that's not the answer. But anyway, you should know that now these 4 angles adds up to 360. Since you know that, you could add these 3 and then subtract that from 360. Okay, so here we go. 120 plus 85 plus 53. Okay, let's go and do that. 120 plus 85 plus 53. That would give you 256. No, 58 degrees. And then you have to subtract that from 360. 360 minus 258 minus 360. That would give me 102 degrees. So your answer is actually 102 degrees. All right. So same thing for this one. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. It's a pentagon. And a pentagon has 540 degrees. All right, so you know that they should add up to 540. Okay, so you can add all these angles, and then you have to find angle A. Okay, so I'm going to add all these angles up. 113 plus 80 plus 130 plus 90. Okay, what is that going to give me? Do that now. 113 plus 80 plus 130 plus 90. That's 9. Oops. That's 90 right there, so this gives me 413 degrees. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and subtract that from 540. Subtract that from 540. Gives me 127 degrees. So it's 127 degrees. All right, last one. All right, this one here is just a triangle, so you know it should add up to 180. Why? Because that table tells you. Okay, but you go, wait a minute. I'm a little confused here. They want to find 2 missing angle. Well, since you're finding 2 missing angle, and these 2 angles are actually the same because they're both question marks. Okay, that means they're the same degree. All you do now is just subtract 50 degrees first. So subtract 50 degrees, you get 130. And since these 2 have to be the same and have to add to 130, you just have to divide by 2, and that will give you 65 degrees. All right, so therefore they're both 65 degrees, and you can check if you want to. 65 plus 65 plus 50 should give you 180 degrees. All right, and that concludes our lesson. Please go and complete that worksheet. Thank you.